Lean UX is a culmination of bringing in aspects of UX design, design thinking, lean startup, and agile.
Hello everyone. Thank you for tuning into Nodes of Design. I hope you all are doing great. And am I sounding excited? Maybe you all guys should be. Because today on our episode, we have an industrial expert who has given half of his life dedicated to designing better solutions and creating better human experiences. On our show, we have a special guest, Krishna Kishore Pande, with us, delivering his thoughts and knowledge of his journey around the 17 years of his path towards the design. So, said with that, let's begin our show. Hello, Kishore.
Hello,
It,
Tej.
it's an honor to host you on our show, Nodes of Design.
Thank you. I'm really very excited to be on this show, Tej. In fact, I'm very happy to know that someone like you who is very young and have such a passion to design. I hope you all the very best for all that you do.
Thank you so much, Kishore. So, Kishore, to the audience who are listening to us, if you could give a brief about your 17 years of journey, it would be really helpful for them to build their path.
Yes, quite a long period though. I've been a design evangelist all my career. Very passionate about creating multi channel user experience strategies. I love applying user centered design and usability engineering processes in all the projects that I execute. I do have hands on experience in conducting user interviews, studying user demographics and their patterns. I love creating prototypes, performing expert reviews, heuristic evaluations, and usability testing. My forte has been on building and managing multidisciplinary design teams across the globe. I do conduct design thinking workshops and evangelize UX. My specialties would include that I am a lean UX practitioner and I have been working on some very interesting projects from last few years. I would like to talk more about them on your show, Tej.
Thank you so much, Kishore, for giving a brief to our audience. So, said with that, as you are a lean practitioner, on today's episode, we'll talk about what is lean and how lean operates and what are the various methodologies and the ways to practice lean. So, what is lean UX to you, Kishore?
Lean UX is a culmination of bringing in aspects of UX design, design thinking, lean startup, and agile. It is a process built for collaboration. It's all about getting cross functional teams together in order to build a harmonious product. In fact, it focuses on making the right product over making the product perfect. One of the core principles is focused on maximizing value and minimizing waste in software design. Second is about how we ensure a minimum viable product goes to the market. Third is all about how are we testing multiple hypotheses in a quicker time frame.
Thank you, Kishore. That was quite insightful and you explained it quite well to our audience as well. So, how different is this from the present methodologies that we have in market right now?
Well, traditionally, any UX and lean processes by and large use same principles. But when you take design thinking as a process, the emphasis is on the user and how we define the problem statement first, then ideate, prototype, and test. Whereas for lean UX, this is less meticulous and in turn a lot faster, right? Lean UX tends to cancel out the noise and look purely at the raw data in order to decipher what immediate changes need to be made. To boil it down, many think of lean UX as being learning oriented while thinking of traditional UX as being results oriented.
Oh, that's quite insightful. So, any advantages of lean UX?
Let me name a few. Lean UX process typically validates value based hypothesis early. Second is it reduces documentation and focuses on artifacts. Third, it increases positive cross-functional collaboration. It's actually a lot faster and quicker.
Thank you, Kishore. So, said with that, like I wanted to know in your practical experience, have you any faced challenge in your industry while implementing or delivering a solution using the lean UX?
While we have a lot of benefits with Lean UX process, but there have been some challenges that I did encounter. For any services company, the client sits in a city A, the design team operates in a different location, and sometimes the development team is outsourced to India. Lean UX is quite challenging to achieve in such scenarios. It's not impossible, but actually harder. It's highly recommended that traditionally a lean UX workshop or a process works really well where the entire team is co-located. Sometimes the communication technology like Skype, telepresence, etc., make it a little difficult for all of us to virtually co-locate, and sometimes it's very hard, right? It's important that we are all co-located while we are doing any lean UX workshop. It in sometimes very difficult to work with teams who have fixed mindsets and do not open to collaborate and create value-based hypothesis. This is quite a challenge sometimes, stage. And for us to get out of this, it's have to make sure that we bring in the right set of mindset of people, educate them well before we are getting into a lean UX workshop, and then make sure we are conducting it the right fashion and the right way.
Thank you, Kishore, for sharing your challenges that you have personally faced and giving a brilliant solution altogether to that. So, any tip on how to practice lean UX?
Lean UX cycle can be expressed as think, make, and check. Not very different from the lean startup method, which is about build, measure, learn, feedback loop, of course. Some concepts we attribute to lean UX come from the Japanese manufacturing industry. Today, lean UX is used by companies of all types, and in particularly software companies. They have been actually adopting this really very fast, looking at the benefits that it actually delivers. Uh, Lean UX principles helps to minimize cost, and on the other side maximizes the benefits by continuously experimenting and improving on the products and services.
That's great, Kishore. Thank you so much for explaining about lean. But is there anything else that you are doing?
Apart from managing a design team, I'm also working on a design language system for one of our clients, which is very interesting and very different. I would like to come again on your show and talk about this stage.
Thank you so much, Kishore. It would be an honor to host you again onto our show. So, keeping our theme of less than 15 minutes, I would like to conclude this by asking you a few interesting read for listeners out there who can read those.
I'm currently reading a book called as Atomic Design by Brad Frost. Another book called Sense and Respond. This is about how successful organizations listen to customers and create new products continuously by Jeff Koteff and Josh Schneider.
Thank you so much, Kishore, for suggesting some really great, interesting reads to our listeners. Said with that, thank you everyone for tuning in, and don't forget to follow us so that you can never miss out some inspirational talks from design leaders around the world. Happy designing, everyone!